Hello, Sariah, Bastian here, and we are talking with one of our clients today who is currently enrolled in our Beyond Breath program. So welcome, Maggie. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course. Hi.
Tell
Can you
us,
hear?
yes, we can hear you. Tell us, Maggie, what was the main problem that you were experiencing before Beyond Breath?
Um, so I kind of was facing the fact that my marriage was basically over, which was a crisis in itself. But more importantly, I felt super lost. I had like zero sense of any type of intuition. I was completely overwhelmed. Felt zero sense of direction other than, I guess I have to proceed with my divorce because that's kind of like um the intelligible thing to do. and but I didn't even know whether I wanted the divorce or whether I wanted to fight for my marriage. I was so lost.
Mm.
um just overthinking everything, not feeling myself at all. Like I just wanted, like, I wish I could like stick myself with a fork and say, like, feel it, I don't know what makes
Mm.
um so stuff was happening all over and all around me, and I felt like I didn't have any say in how I wanted to participate in that.
Mm.
So I guess to sum it up, I was just extremely overwhelmed. I was in a hyper-vigilance state that kind of progressed over the years, is what I realized recently. And I just overwhelming sense of helplessness and feeling lost. That those are the things I was experiencing, and I wanted to feel. I wanted to, like, feel myself.
Mhm. How long had you been in that situation?
I recently came to the realization that it has been going on for the past 15, 20 years. I thought it was just a recent thing, but when I went, I think recently in the last 4 or 5, maybe the sense of lost, just being lost and kind of hypervigilant, that kind of strengthened and um, was kind of knocking me out of my um, game, I guess. I feel like it's been going on for 15 to 20 years.
Wow.
Um, I have I feel like I have let some judgments in, kind of abandoned myself, um and trying to figure out what's wrong with me and how to fix myself. And um I would just either just get kind of lost in the thoughts of, like, what is wrong with me, like overwhelming things of like self-judgment and stuff, or I would just numb things out and be like, I'm fine, everything is fine, I'll manage everything, I'll be okay, and like just kind of approach it from a whole different opposite
Yep.
thing, which kind of like detached me from me still. And so that um major sense of like detachment. I've been feeling that for more and more, growing over the last 15 to 20
Yeah.
years.
Tell me some of the things that you try to do to fix it.
Sure. So I've been in like various therapies for about 15 years. But it's as I kind of look back, like regardless of whether I had like 2 sessions a week or maybe a session every other week, um, I was just not able to fix it. Like, I thought that like talking about my stuff would like somehow help me heal me. I thought, maybe the therapist would help me kind of choose next steps for me and stuff like that, which normally then they're not supposed to, but I know some do. But I just never um some uh I read a ton of self-help books,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like in that, like I'm envisioning like this hyper person who's just trying to read, find all the answers and all the books, and like while and on occasion they helped and they were good. It was sometimes, I'd pick up like good material, and it would be a good thing to kind of carry with me. I never felt like I found like the answer or like something that would connect me to me. I don't know if that makes sense, but like that's kind of what I was looking for, and I just couldn't. I mean, I read things on like, spiritual things, like how, how you can I don't know, like kind of change your attitude, or I read on things of like, habits, like, control your habits, do your thing, like everything is going to be good as long as you get your habits all in line and stuff. And like, so I'd just be kind of bouncing from one thing to another, and just never kind of had the answer to, like, I don't know if it was not, I never there was all kind of, one thing was opposite of the other, or maybe they did somehow correlate, but I couldn't quite put it together quite the way you did with your program, to be honest. It's just yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I love that. So tell us, like, what has been the highlight for you since joining Beyond Breath?
Well, the level of internal peace that I have gotten since joining Beyond Breath has been incredible. Like being in tune with myself has felt nothing short of extraordinary. Like I never searched or seek to control the world around me, other people. Intellectually, I knew I couldn't do it, but I guess I thought that my constant state of hyper-vigilance was somehow going to prepare me for like the worst case scenario or whatever, that I'd be ready. But I came to realize that all it did is rob me of the beautiful moments I was, in my life, just I don't know. It just robbed me of that. It robbed me of experiencing stuff in a moment. I would just always kind of overthink, and try to come up with like, well, this is great, but I wonder how that's going to be taken away, or how that's going to go away, or whatever, how that's going to get ruined. So it robbed me of those moments, and I hated that.
And you no longer have
Oh
that
God,
thief
no.
there. Yeah. Tell us what you've learned so far in Beyond Breath that has really transformed things for you.
So first of all, I love the process. Like I said earlier, I feel like the way you kind of put the program together, it allowed me to, like, I went through all the modules in time, and like the first time around, it helped me like kind of calm things down, like just put things in perspective, like took me out of my head and into living right now. And I recognize that like there's plenty of things I want to address from my past and stuff like that, but like they don't they don't need to hijack my life for the moment that I'm dealing with them. I'm able to kind of take a different approach, and one in which I am present for dealing with those things, and I can release them, and it just feels amazing. I'm actually part of the process. I'm not I mean, that's the highlight is round one to me was just kind of calming everything down. Now I just started round two, and I am so excited to be like digging deeper because of what it did to me round one. Like everything that it brought to my life right now, I'm expecting that. And I've heard the girls talk about that too, that like as you kind of progress and you dig into it again, it just uncovers like other layers, and you're able to be you get to experience that, and that in itself to me is just beautiful. So I'm not like I'm not throwing it away. I get to experience it, and I get to, some of the things that I don't want to hold on to, I get to say goodbye to and feel great about it. I mean, I love it.
Yeah. Yes. It's so, I mean, that's the whole part, is just you're expanding constantly. And that's why we give you lifetime access to the portals, so that you can go back and watch and rewatch that as many times as you need. Now, you told us at the beginning that when you joined, like, you were just to the point where you thought your marriage was over, that handing over those divorce papers was the best thing for you to do. Tell us where you are now in your marriage.
Oh, we're doing great. We're I feel like obviously my healing has helped me a lot, but I'm able to show up differently in my marriage. My husband has done some healing himself, and he's done he's done some of your yoga. And but he's done some healing on his own, but the way we're able to show up for each other and have the difficult conversations, it's like
Mm.
um I I couldn't even imagine that I'd be able to handle things like that the way I do now, and the way, again, I can be in the moment, and even if it's uncomfortable and so vulnerable, I can still do it, and it feels great in the moment. And again, some conversations may not go great, um, but we have so much really release coming from that, and so much healing in that, and having those difficult conversations, which obviously you've done a lot to kind of between our calls that we have, like we get to practice with you. I love that.
Yeah, we get to role play. I play a really good husband, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I it's just so, like, you think you know what you want to say, and then you hear your words come out and you're like, oh shoot, like, and just having that little practice is huge.
Mhm.
I love that
Yeah.
part as well.
I love that too. It's my favorite part as well. So, Maggie, I love all this. Tell us, just for this last question, like, what would you say to someone who is on the fence, not quite sure about joining us? What would you tell them?
um I would say that I hope that you know that your healing is worth every penny. I can explain kind of how my logical brain decided to, join you if you want. I have been doing some EMDR therapy with a therapist that I actually liked, which was the first one in many, many years that, like, I actually was able to open up to more than others in the past, and she was pretty good. But so I liked working with her. Some of those sessions did kind of help, but I still felt like it wasn't answering the questions I was saying at the beginning, like that, looking for that connection to self and stuff like that. I just didn't have that. And I wanted it so bad. I knew that regardless of what happens in my marriage, regardless of what happens anywhere else, I wanted to have me.
Yeah.
And so I my logical thing was the therapist I was just mentioning, she was not covered by my insurance, so I was paying her out of pocket. And when you and I had our call, I did my quick, like, in my head, I did a quick calculation that if I had a session with her two times, if I had two weekly sessions with her for the next, like, 4 or 6 months, I'd be out the same amount of money. And so to me, it was like not even a question. I remember that right on the call, because I did that quick math in my head, and I was like, no, this is I listened to the testimonials as well, and I was convinced that the ladies that were speaking before me, like they had something, the stuff that I was looking for. So yeah, so that was my thing. I just did the quick thing, and I was like, no, this is worth it for me. I'm trying this. It was experimental anyway. I've never done EMDR before.
Mhm.
And so and I did the I did the quick calculation. I was like, yeah, this is it. So to the people who are on the fence, I would just say, I mean, it is, your healing is worth it. Like the level of peace and serenity and connection to yourself, and like you get to live after this, like you get to experience life, you get to love, and you get to feel joy and stuff like that, and not like worry about, like not kill it with like all the, you know, anxious thoughts and stuff like that. It's just beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. So I do encourage whoever's on the fence that like it's definitely worth it. I mean, I just texted you the other day. I was like, hey, you know, if I have to pay more for something, like it is worth every penny. I'm doing it.
Yes. Yes,
So
it's a testament to me as well. And I love little things like that. Yeah. And what's cool, Maggie, is that you said you listened to the testimonials and probably listened to the testimonials of the woman that you got to meet at the retreat when you were
that's
there.
that's true. It
Yeah.
was amazing. It was, oh my gosh, Sariah, it was the best experience ever. I'm still kind of glowing about it. So
Yeah.
um and for me, I feel like for me it was like this thing, like this year was designed for me, because it, like, while you know, when I woke up on January 1st, my life was in shambles. I think I spoke with you at the end of January, and I finished my modules, and then right after that I got to do the retreat. So it was like everything was kind of like timely.
Mm.
um the retreat was like a big bang for me, like just um a rebirth almost. You know? So
Yeah.
that I'm forever grateful for you, for Jessica. I'm just super grateful I found this program.
I love it. I love it. And I love you, Maggie. It seriously was just almost a full circle fulfillment for me to be able to meet you in person, and then even to have you here bearing your testimony of this, like this program and how it's helped shift your life so much. And we really appreciate you taking the time to be able to do this, especially since you're not feeling well. Thank you for bearing with that. And for those of you listening to this, like Maggie's a real person, right? She had these extreme problems and situations and was not sitting back, you know, powerless in her life, but really efforting, trying to find something to help her find herself. And that's exactly the woman that we work with, not the woman who wants somebody else to fix it for them, but the woman who are going to do anything and determined through confidence to be able to make this life their own and create the memories and the magic that is literally there for you. So thank you, Maggie, for trusting us and for being here today. And for those of you listening again, like, you're not alone. This is real. And if you are in the same position looking for that help, reach out. We can guide you through that, just like we had Maggie. So thanks again, Maggie. And thanks for those of you who are listening. I love you. We'll see you soon.